Hey, algebra students, let's tackle a simple concept that students tend to make more complex than it is. That's evaluating algebraic expressions. Unfortunately, a lot of us have been so scarred by algebra and math class that just the sight of a letter makes us want to run away, puke, curl up in the fetal position in a corner. You guys, breathe with me. This is not as challenging as it looks. Let's take a look. First one says, evaluate 6 minus 2p for p equals 5. And the first complaint I have is, oh my gosh, there's a letter. And I'm like, not really. If we stopped right here, where it says evaluate 6 minus 2p, I'd agree with you. There's a letter. I don't know what it is. There's not much I can do here, but I didn't stop there. Look, I gave you more information. I told you 4p equals 5. Guys, that little equal sign for a mathematician means is. Mystery solved. You don't have to figure out what p is. They told you. Okay, so what that means then is that anytime you see p, since p is 5, well, you can replace it. I don't have to call it p anymore. Mystery solved, I can call it 5. So that step there is called substitution. Super important skill for college. So we are going to practice it. Now, if it really freaks you out and you're like, I'm not college bound, Kate, check out the calculator video that shows you how to evaluate this with, you don't even need this skill at all. But guys, I'm doing you a favor here. Okay, so important for college, one of the basic algebra skills, and it's not hard. This is it. Ready? Instead of writing p, I'm going to write 5. That's it. That's substitution. You say, well, is the answer 5? Well, no, p wasn't the only thing in this expression. So let's keep everything else we had. Okay, we traded out p for 5. Now we also had this 2. Now careful, that says 25, but something we learned in the very first class is when two things are shoved together like that, 2 and p are shoved together, that means they're multiplying. So I'm going to use parentheses here so that everybody knows what that 2 and that 5 are doing. So I know I'm going to be a good secretary and communicate to myself. So that's 2 times 5. And I also had a minus sign and I also had a 6. There it is. That's the skill of substitution. It's trading out letters, p in this case, for known values. I know p is 5. And now that I have it substituted, it's time to simplify. Now, I can simplify by putting the entire thing in my calculator. Feel free to. You check my work, okay? In fact, you probably should for this one, because this one has a skill a lot of beginners don't know, which is dealing with negative numbers. A lot of you guys tell me, well, Kate, I have to backtrack. I have to do negatives. And I say, no, you don't. If you type this into your calculator, you don't. So you can literally type 6 and then minus and then 2. And guess what? Your TI has parentheses. And you can type parentheses 5 parentheses. And your calculator is going to give you an answer you're not used to. It's going to give you negative 4. Okay, and that's cool. You can totally do it in your calculator. I'm going to do it by hand so you can see where that negative 4 came from. But again, not a skill that you have to have for the GEDs to be able to do negatives by hand. It is handy dandy for college though. So let's take a look. Remember, when I have more than one operation, and I do here, I have subtraction, multiplication. I have more than one operation that I'm going to go ahead and simplify. I want that order of operations. Okay, and that order of operations says that any multiplication division should come before any addition subtraction. So I'm going to do the multiplication in this expression first. This part, 2 times 5. Okay? 2 times 5 is 10. I've now substituted again. We don't usually think of it that way, but that was substitution. I just traded out 2 times 5 for something simpler. 10 is simpler. Okay? I haven't used the 6 and I haven't used the minus. Okay, now this is the part that I say that maybe you would struggle with if you're a beginning student. You say, I have 6 and I don't know how to take away 10, Kate. And that's cool. You don't have to know how to do this by hand, but let's just go ahead and think about this. I have $6 in my bank account. Then I go ahead and I take out 10. You guys, I spend 10. So you guys usually have this instinct that it's 4. And I agree with you. If I have $6 and I go down 10, there's something with a floor. But guys, I spent more than I had. I took away more than I had. And so it's not +4, it's -4. But again, your calculator can handle that for you if you are a beginning student who is simply focused on that skill that we are learning here of evaluating expressions by substituting. Okay, panic. And so I wanted to do this next one for the very same reason, right? We can do this in our calculator. So I would like you guys please to just breathe through fractions and breathe through letters. Neither one is as challenging as you would guess. And for both of them, we get our lovely TI-30XS multi-view calculator. Okay. But again, the skill here is knowing that J is not a mystery. J is 33. So wherever I see J in my expression, I can replace it with 33. So let's do that. Let me just copy this expression down here so you newbies can see this, me going directly underneath, okay? I'm going to replace J with 33, and I still have the 2/3. And this is where students panic. They're like, what are these two things doing? The fraction is just such a scary thing to you guys that you panic a little bit. Look at what the 2/3 and the J were originally doing. They were shoved up against each other, which means they are multiplying. And once again, just type this into your calculator. We did all that work in Unit 0 to get you handy dandy with a calculator so that you never get tripped up by calculations you don't know how to do. I need you to be an algebra ninja, but I don't need you to be a ninja at doing calculations by hand. That being said, I love to do calculations by hand. So you check me by doing this in your calculator, and then I'm going to do it by hand, okay? You're going to type the N/D button to get that fraction. You're going to type 2 on the top of the N/D button, then arrow down to type 3. Then be very careful. You actually have to arrow out of the fraction with that big gray arrow button, okay? Before you go parentheses, 33, close parentheses, okay? And your calculator should tell you, what should it tell you? 22. Now, I'm going to do it by hand. All right. Okay, so I know 33 is the same as 33 1/2 things, or 33 over 1. I know that I can cross reduce when I'm multiplying fractions. So 3 and 33 are both divisible by 3. Divide 3 by 3, I get 1. Divide 33 by 3, I get 11. 2 times 11 is 22. And 1 times 1, of course, is just 1, but I'm not going to brag about how 22 1/2 things. What I mean there, sorry. I just went really fast. I don't need a over 1. It's not a fraction anymore. 22 over 1, or another way to think of it, 22 divided by 1 is just simply 22. And once again, if you know how to do negatives by hand, good for you. If you know how to do fractions by hand, good for you. If not, don't worry about it. We did the algebra skill, the substitution. Your calculator can do the computation. Okay, next one. I don't know why I saved the easiest one for last, but I think why I wanted to do this one is because students get really confused about what's happening here. So again, it says evaluate 2AB for A equals 4 and B equals 5. So, we feel really scared when we say 2AB, and the average newbie algebra student is like, oh my gosh, there's letters. But once again, not really, because I know what A is. A is 4. And I know what B is. B is 5. And so there's no mysteries left. The only thing left to do is to put those known values into this expression, okay? So I am going to trade A out for its known value. We know it's 4. So instead of writing A, I will write 4. Now, see how these three things are shoved together? They're multiplying, guys. Make sure my A is in parentheses. Okay. I'm also going to trade out B for a known value. B is not a mystery. B is 5. So again, I'm going to trade out that B for that known value 5. And again, in parentheses because they're multiplying. And then don't lose anything. You guys tend to be worse at being secretaries than you are at algebra. So don't lose this 2. The A and the B were being multiplied by 2. They better still be multiplied by 2. And you can type this entire expression in your calculator. 2 times 4 times 5. Don't feel embarrassed that you're just doing straight up multiplication in your calculator. It's kind of crazy when you're focused on hard new skills like algebra. You can do really weird things with your computations. Like I've seen students who know perfectly well what 1 plus 1 is, right? 11, when they're focused that hard on algebra, okay? But that being said, I am going to do it by hand. So 2 times 4 is 8. And if I take that 8 and multiply it by 5, I am going to get 40. Simplified. Done. So nice. I think the takeaway here is that we overthink what a letter means. We really just kind of panic at the sight of the unknown. And a lot of times, half the time, we know what the unknown is, or it's very simple to figure out what the unknown is. But in the case of evaluating expressions, they tell us, you guys. It's not algebra anymore once you get those numbers in. Okay? And half the time it's just calculator work. All right, you can do this. You can do this. Happy learning.